Hey everybody, it's Rebecca here. Welcome to day 4 of the mini challenge to increase your vibration and to create more abundance in your life. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much to everybody for all your comments. It's been great to see your feedback. And today I want to talk about another element that is really important when it comes to manifesting what it is that we want and creating a life that we love. Obviously, we have talked about the power of your thoughts and how to think. We've talked about your limiting beliefs and how important it is to get on the other side of those. And we have talked about your intuition and how important it is to be connected to those higher frequencies of energy, and how your intuition can help you to identify your limiting beliefs, right? When you're using your intuition to go into your subconscious and see things that perhaps your rational mind can't see. Right, so it moves beyond the rational mind. So today what I want to talk about is getting clear on what it is that you want. Now, a lot of times when I ask people this question, I'll just literally say, what is it that you want? And this can feel like such a big question. Right? Who knows how to answer that question? It's a situation where it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So what I always say to people, and often too when I ask this question of people, what I'm actually asking them is, how much vision do you have? How much time have you spent thinking or sending energy or focus towards what it is that you want? Because this is the human issue, right? Which is we want this, but it's not here yet, so therefore I'm being denied. We can put a lot of story and judgment on it. So therefore we stop focusing on what it is that we want, because then we feel like A, we're still in the energy of wanting it, but B, maybe we're not ever going to receive it. Now, it's good to know, right, that whatever you can conceive, you can achieve. You can create that as a desire. But what do we need to know in regards to creating it? The number one thing that I always talk about for people is, when they want something, is people always know this, right? If they don't know what it is that they want, everybody knows how they want to feel. And this is huge in regards to manifestation, right? Because manifestation works based on the way you feel. Because if you are feeling good, your energy is expanded. And if you are not feeling so good, your energy is feeling more contracted. Now, often, like I've said, mentioned previously, people get caught up on the idea that if they're having a bad day, then that's totally destroying their manifestation process. Please don't do that to yourself, right? If you are going into judgment about thinking negatively or having a bad day, that is just literally going to stretch it out even further. So what I would encourage you to do, again, is if you're having a bad day, write it down, get it out on a piece of paper, and then be kind with yourself and be in the space of, oh, look what I'm doing, right? It's much better to go, oh, look, I'm having a bad day, and speaking about the facts, rather than, I'm having a bad day, so that makes me a bad person, I'm never going to get what I want, I'm living in lack. You can see it just can create deeper and deeper contraction. If you're already starting to go down the rabbit hole, you have a choice in regards to going, I get to stop at any given moment. Even if I'm still continuing to feel this way, I don't have to contribute a thought process to the feeling which is going to create the chemical reaction. I am powerful to do that, right? And again, learning that that is a process, or that is a choice, or that is within your control. It might not feel easy, but you can still do it. So today, again, what is it that you want? You know, one thing that I have identified through manifestation is when people have manifested something that they've wanted and they haven't felt fulfilled, right? And this often shows up when it comes to money. I've seen people go, oh, I want a lot of money. But this is, and I don't know if you've ever been through this process before, but let's do this today together. And that is why. You know, if you want a lot of money, why do you want it? Right? And the why question is great. So this is really the mini challenge in a nutshell. Why? Why do you want the money? So you want the money because the money is going to bring you security, right? Why is it going to bring you security? Oh, it means that I can pay for my kids' education. Or why is that a good thing? Like, what does that bring you? Well, it brings me a sense of being a good parent. Why is that important to you? Right? Because you want to drill down and keep on asking yourself the question, because you can be guaranteed that the question is always going to come back to an emotional state. Because why do I want to be a good parent? Because I want to feel good. Right? That really is what it is in a nutshell. I want to feel in a vibration. I want to feel in a certain frequency, and I want to feel that in my body. So you can see how all these things line up together, right? We've talked about the mind and how to think. We've talked about the limiting beliefs and how to start identifying them. We've talked about intuition and what it means to live in those higher frequencies of energy. And then coming back into this, and also too, right, opening up our ability to feel, because we want to be able to feel intuitive perception in our body. Right? And what does that mean? That means, like, when we walk into a room and it doesn't feel safe, that we know it in our body. And if we are very aware, then we will remove ourselves immediately, right? Rather than questioning it or doubting it or kind of being stuck in the head and then finding out later that it wasn't in your highest and best interest to be there. Right? That is intuitive guidance. And that's a maybe a more negative situation as opposed to a positive one, but that's just an example. Right, so we want to be in that space of being good at the feelings, and then, right, being able to identify that part of the manifestation process is this feeling good, but a knowing and fundamentally being in that space of, why do you want to feel that way? What is it going to bring you? Why do you want anything? Right? What is it going to bring you? And this, again, is the secret sauce when it comes to manifestation, is being able to identify the feeling that you want to experience. Maybe it is about a love relationship. Why do you want to be in a love relationship? I want companionship. Why do you want companionship? Because it's fun to hang out with somebody. Why is it fun to hang out with somebody? Because it creates a certain feeling within you. What is that feeling? Maybe it is being loved, right? So identifying what is the feeling that you want to feel in your body. And this is where we turn it upside down. Once you've identified the feeling, what does it take for you to feel that feeling now? That's why it's important to know what it is that you want, because what you really want, what everybody really wants, is to feel a certain way, right? And you know why? Because I want you to think about this scenario about the person who has $2 in their bank account and they think that is awesome and that makes them so happy because that is the way that they've trained themselves with their filter, versus the person who's got $2 and they're like, oh my goodness, my world is ending, right? Same circumstance, different interpretation, because maybe that person knows within themselves that they can manifest money just like that, whereas this person is not running that energy and belief, right? They're in a space of fear and contraction. So how do you want to feel, and how can you feel that today? So your mini challenge is to sit down and figure out what is something that you want to manifest. Maybe it's a new car, right? Why do you want to manifest the new car? Whatever your manifestation is, take 5 minutes to sit down and write out, what is it that you want to manifest? Why do you want to manifest it? What feeling is it going to bring you? And what does it take for you to feel that feeling today? Right? Because this is the secret sauce when it comes to manifesting. If you can feel the feeling now, and this is why manifestation is so awesome, right? Because it is a win-win situation. You get to feel the feeling of already having your manifestation, and then you get to experience the creation of it. So it's a win-win. Like, you feel good on the way to your manifestation. And this is so important too, because I've seen this happen before with people who have I've done it before myself, in fact, manifested big lump sum of money and thinking that the love or the joy or the fun or the pleasure was going to be in the money. It is not. It is within you. So you do not want to be one of those people who manifests and doesn't do it from a place of fulfillment. You want to be a person who's experiencing fulfillment and manifesting at the same time. So your mini challenge for today is to identify something that you want to manifest and ask yourself why you want to manifest it. What is the feeling that you want to experience, and how can you experience that feeling today? All right, folks, I'll look forward to connecting in with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.